Welcome to Switched On Schoolhouse State History. In these half-credit history electives for 7th through 12th graders, your student is given the chance to study the history of his home state. The state history courses are presented in two different formats. The first format provides a traditional 5-unit course with multimedia-enriched text-based instruction, comprehension and review questions, and quizzes and tests. The 5 units in each of these courses cover an introduction to the state, history and culture, government, economy, and citizenship. Let's take a quick look at a North Carolina state history lesson to see how these 5-unit courses are presented. In a unit entitled Economy, let's look at a lesson called Agriculture in North Carolina. As children study, it's important that they understand that what they're learning fits into a timeline of history. Any linked date or major event within the text of the lesson provides access to an interactive timeline. The timeline provides information about great civilizations, historical eras, significant events, and persons from history. Just as in other Alpha Omega computer-based coursework, student history courses combine text-based instruction with multimedia to encourage mastery of lesson content. Let's take a look at this video, which provides information about North Carolina's cotton production.
Let's look at cotton plants. In its early stages, a cotton field looks like this. The farmer must wait to harvest the cotton. After a while, cotton flowers bloom. When they dry up, white balls of cotton will form. This is a ball of cotton, ready to be harvested. And here's a whole cotton field ready to be harvested. Cotton pickers are used to harvest the cotton in the field.
At the end of the lesson, your student is presented with a series of questions that provide a review of lesson content. If the lesson contains multiple sections, after completing section 1, the student continues to the next section, reading the text-based instruction and answering the remaining questions. Questions are presented in a variety of formats. Answers are automatically saved as the student works through the questions, with 85 to 90% of student work being graded immediately by the program. A student is given the opportunity to reattempt questions that were answered incorrectly the first time through the lesson. The lesson is complete when the student has answered all questions correctly or has exhausted his allowed attempts. Roughly half of the 50 state history courses are presented in this 5-unit format. The rest of the courses are presented in a project-based format. Rather than providing 5 units of lesson-based instruction, these project-based courses contain 13 research projects that provide a guided study of your student's state. Students are asked to research the government, timeline, history, people, natural resources, economy and business, and tourism and culture of their state, and much more. Let's take a look at the presentation of one of the projects in Maine state history. This project is entitled Maine, Natural Resources. A brief lesson introduces your student to the topic for this research project. Information about the natural resources of Maine is provided through this tiny tutor. These small instructional videos provide special instructions, additional information, and important tips for students.
Many times we residents act as if the natural resources in our state were created by us. Remember, we found the oil and we mined the minerals, but creation came from the Lord. The Bible reminds us of this. Nehemiah chapter 9 and verse 6 says, Thou alone art the Lord. Thou hast made the heavens, the earth, and all that is on it. Psalm 90 verse 2, Thou didst give birth to the earth and the world, even from everlasting to everlasting, Thou art God. Proverbs 8:28, He made firm the skies above, the springs of the deep. In all of our technology and financial gain, may we state residents be thankful to God, the Creator.
A link to the interactive timeline is provided here as well. At the end of the presentation, the student is provided with instructions for the project that he must complete. In this project, students are instructed to write a script for a 3 to 5 minute infomercial on the natural resources of Maine. The infomercial must be designed to convince businesses to move to the state of Maine. When the student is ready to begin the project, just click the report icon to open a word processor document to complete the assignment. Instructions for completion are included in the document. Parents are responsible for grading each completed project. Be sure to check the Alpha Omega Publications website to see which state histories are presented in the project-based format and which are presented in the 5-unit format.